Well, hello again. This is for the second week of Advent, and so as you can see, these two candles are lit now to indicate that. You light one each Sunday of Advent. I told you that I was going to change sweaters for the second one, but I went home and my other sweater is wrinkled. And I have this one iron session per day limit, so it'd be kind of silly to change sweaters anyway. I'm not fooling anybody. I'm just going to keep this one on. However, I did bring from home a couple of my ties that I wanted to show you. Now, we are Nazarene people, which means we don't wear vestments. I don't wear a robe on Sunday, and I don't wear any type of stole or color to indicate the season of the church year. Every season of the church year has its own color. The color for Advent is purple. I do have a purple tie that I like to wear during Advent. I'm just kind of anal about church year stuff that way, and I like to wear colors that represent the season of the church year. My wife is not nearly so anal about the church year as I am, and seeing as I only have one purple tie, she doesn't want me to wear it 4 Sundays in a row. She strongly suggested that I wear this tie this past Sunday. I'm not making this up. We had an actual discussion about whether or not I would wear this tie on Sunday morning, and I did not wear it. I promised her I would wear it to some Christmas party, and this just has to play until it shuts off, so I'm going to throw it over here, but you may have to listen to it for a moment. When I went home, I also pulled some ornaments off our tree. I mentioned to you in my last posting that we have a tree in every room of our home, and the tree in our bedroom is our family tree. What I mean by that is it's the tree that contains all the sentimental ornaments that just really mean something only to us. One thing I pulled off is this little plastic house. This belonged to my great-great-aunt. She was the single greatest spiritual influence in my life growing up. And she had severe arthritis in her fingers, and she didn't decorate a tree for that reason, but she did put out these little village pieces. And this one, you can see it got a little, you put little lights in the back. Some of you may have had something like this. This one got a little hot, and so she had to, anyway, I put these on the tree. I stick them on the various lights on the tree. We have about 8 of them. My mother went through various craft phases when I was growing up. She went through a phase where everything was macrame that she made, latch hook, crochet. She went through the ceramics phase where she made some beautiful Christmas ornaments. This was my favorite. It just wasn't Christmas to me until we hung this on the tree. The first Christmas that my wife and I were married, we didn't have any money. Now, we're not exactly rolling in it now, if you know what I mean, but we didn't have any. After we bought presents for everybody in our families, we didn't have any money left to buy presents for each other. So what we did was we went, for Christmas, we went to the top of the Hyatt Regency Hotel in downtown Houston, where we were living at the time. And sorry, I thought I heard somebody come in. That would be kind of embarrassing. And it's a rotating restaurant. It spins around while you eat very slowly, and if you sit there for an hour, you can see all of downtown Houston lit up. So we sipped virgin pina coladas. That was what we could afford. And she had the waiter take a picture, which she then superimposed on this clay ornament. I don't know how well you can see that. So that reminds me of a Christmas that our first Christmas we had together. And this one, Hannah's First Christmas. Now, any of you that have children have something like this, several I'm sure. Anyone who it's their child's first Christmas, it's meaningful to them. This Christmas was especially meaningful to us this time of year because some of you who know me know our daughter is adopted, and you know the story. We almost lost her after we brought her home. There was a technicality in the adoption in which she almost went back to her birth mother. There was a 2-week period there that was just pretty much hell on earth for us. And God moved, people prayed. We had our Christmas miracle that year, and that during that time was when the adoption was finalized, and she's a Pettigrew now, like it or not. We baptized her during that time. And so this ornament reminds me of the wonderful thing God did for us that year. Why am I showing you all these things? Well, trees tell stories. When we put up our tree and put up those ornaments, it reminds me of the heartwarming chapters of my story and the heartbreaking chapters of my story. Our family trees are a story. We all have those branches of the family tree that we would just soon forget about, and those that are especially meaningful to us. The Old Testament reading for the second Sunday of Advent this year was found in Isaiah 11. It said that a shoot would come forth from the stump of Jesse. In chapter 10, God says through the prophet that the tribe of Judah would be cut down. Their tree would be chopped off to a stump. But from that stump of Jesse, a shoot would come forth that would become a branch that would bear fruit. That's the hope of Advent. No matter how low we're cut down, there is always the hope of a green shoot. Advent means that the story is not over. God is still writing our story. I don't know what's going on in your life this time of year. Some of you may have been through a divorce this year, the loss of a loved one. In our Nasnet family, it's a difficult time of year right now because we're losing a very good friend unless God intervenes. This may be a stump Christmas for you. The hope of Advent is the story isn't over. One day Jesus will come, and then everything that has ever been wrong will be made right. I hope that whatever's going on in your life this year, that every time you look at your tree or another Christmas tree, you'll be reminded of the shoot that became a branch that has become a beautiful family tree of which I'm proud to be a part today. God bless you, and I'll see you next week. If I can ever figure out this button on this thing.